Hey guys, welcome to this brand new video where we are going to learn how to deploy Pocketbase for production. So instead of just developing it, we are going to now put this in our cloud so that it can run for forever, 365 days. And yeah, anyone can use the APIs and you won't be doing a local host. You have a real domain, you have a real API. Alright, so let's just get started. You can use anything you like, any cloud service you like. So you will just need a VPS with an SSH access to deploy this. So let's get started. I'm going in AWS because AWS is cheap. You can also use a light sale instead of EC2, which has some limited option but is bit cheaper than EC2. But Amazon gives a lot of option if we are going with EC2. So let's say Pocketbase AI server. Let's call that because I'm planning to build some AI chat application for someone. And here the best thing would be to go with Amazon Linux. You can also go with Ubuntu and all, since the steps I'm showing you is going to be same on Ubuntu, Debian, they're kind of same, or Amazon Linux, just a bit of difference. And we will be going with the cheapest option, so I'll select ARM, which means this is a different type of processor compared to AMD 64, which is a bit cheaper and it is efficient as well. So in free tier you will get this. If you are new to AWS, if you are creating a new account, you will get this free tier, 2 GB of memory and all. But what I'll show you is you can just go with this option T4G Nano. This is like the least, like half GB of RAM if you don't have a heavy load. So let's go with that. You can in EC2 or any cloud provider, you can go and resize your instance to any RAM, any CPU you like once you stop it. So what we need to do is we create a new key pair. If you already have an existing one, you can use that one. Go with OpenSSH. Even Windows has support for OpenSSH. Now what you need to do is type in some name. I'll do Pocketbase AI EC2. Alright, and I'll click on create key pair. So what it will do is it will download the key pair on my downloads folder, and here in network settings I'll show you what things we can do. What we want is HTTPS traffic, HTTP traffic. We want all these kind of incoming traffic. And if you want to rename this, else it will be called launch wizard. Click on edit, and now if you want it to be in a different zone, so right now we are in US East 1, North Virginia. You can go to your region which is closer to your user. So ideally could be Singapore, Sydney, Japan, Frankfurt, London, Paris, Canada, wherever it is. And you want a public IP assigned, else it will not work. And here we change the name. I'll call it Pocketbase AI server, and description you can update as well. I don't really care about that. And we want HTTP to be coming from anywhere, SSH from anywhere. You can also put your own IP here if you want to improve the security of this computer. And yeah, 8 GB is more than enough for us. And I'll just click on launch instance. Let me hide myself. Yeah, so you see this here, launch instance, and I'll click on this. It takes few seconds, and let me bring myself back so that you can see me. So it has initiated the launch. If I click here, it will take me to another tab where it will show me this instance, and now it is running. Now all I need to do is click on connect, and connect using, I can just log in here by clicking on connect, or I can just use SSH client. We will be doing a lot of things. So I'll copy this. We need to give the permission 400. I'll go here Now I run this command. So whatever your name is, you will give the permission, and now you can do check the permission with this. So yeah, you can just read something like this. 600 also works. And now what you need to do is you need to copy this SSH command here. So the syntax follows like this. So first we do SSH, then we do I, where the identity file is. So if you are not in downloads, you'll have to locate this file, put in the entire path, which could be yeah. So now I can just hit enter and it will take me here, and I'll have to type yes. And every time you restart, this will change. Or you can also use your public IP if you have that. So let me go to Chrome and show you where the public IP is. So we don't have IPv6, but it's good to add that if you have customers who have IPv6. Yeah, so this is the public IP. So if you hit this, we will be needing this for later. Yeah, so step one, we are in Amazon Linux right now. Okay, we have nothing here, and I'll remove everything so we get a fresh start. And now what we need to do is we need to go to Pocketbase. So now I'll do pocketbase.io, and we are here. Now click on documentation, and in here click on going to production. Now what we need to do is get the official binary in the first place. Also, if you have local file, what you will be doing is you will be syncing all those files to this production server by using rsync. So this is the command rsync avz. I'm not sure if you need this command, but yeah, this is you pass in your server username, @ and all that. You can check out my rsync tutorial. There will be an rsync tutorial as well to learn how to sync files between your server. So that's and let's do this first. Here we have this is x64. If you are not using ARM64, if you are using the normal old style computer, not the mobile version, ARM64. So we are using ARM64 and we are using Linux. So I'll do copy link. I go back to my terminal, and now what I need to do is I need to do wget and paste the link. Alright, we have downloaded this from GitHub, and there is a zip file. So if I do ls, yeah, there we go. And now I can just type unzip Pocketbase, and this will unzip everything in here. So you can see we have these 3 files now. And now what we can do is we can run this or move this in a folder. So let's make a directory mkdir. I'll call this pb, and I'll now move Pocketbase to pb. Okay, now we have this. Either you can ignore this or delete this, we really don't care. So now if I do into cd pb, now we go into this directory, and now I can do Pocketbase, and it will show Pocketbase not found. So I'll do /Pocketbase, and here we get to see all the commands we have for Pocketbase. So serve, super user, update, migrate. If you already have data in that, so you can just run the same command, Pocketbase serve, and what it will do is it will start the server on 8090, and it will ask us to create the user account by clicking here. But this is not localhost, so that's the problem. So what we can do is we can use this command if you are directly installing Pocketbase on a server. Okay, now you can do admin at whatever your domain.com. So I'll do lonelyws.io, pass hello 123. Alright, so we have created an admin user, and if I'll show you the ls, now we have this pb data folder, where it is storing the data. If I do pb data, you get to see data.db, and this is an SQLite file which you can backup, sync, do multi deployment and all that. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to set up a reverse proxy. How do we do that? And to test this, if this thing is working or not, you can do Pocketbase serve. And if you want to directly serve without using a reverse proxy, what reverse proxy is just a layer, a service which sits between your computer and the internet, and it allows traffic to go to the internal localhost servers, and also provides an HTTPS connection, and you have some configuration around load balancing and all that. If you do -h, you will get to see all the flags you have. So by default, if domain arguments are specified, it will run on this, if not on 8090. So if you want this to run on port 80, what you can do is do --http equals to 0.0.0:80. so it means it will run here. And now another issue you will face is this: if you try to run this on port 80, that's another problem. So you can just run sudo and it will work. We are not going to be using this in production, so just for testing purpose I am showing you this. Now what I can do is I can go and visit the IP here, because HTTP port is open, and I get this. Okay, file not found because the Pocketbase is in /_, and there we go, we are in Pocketbase. So if I put in my credentials here, I am in. So there we go, this is our production server running this. And now what we can do is we need to set up a domain and HTTPS. For this, I will not be using a DNS server setup. There is an easier thing for me to use. It's called SSL IP. So it with using the IP address, it will redirect us to the IP domain. Alright, so now we have seen how to get Pocketbase running on our server. Now let's set up reverse proxy. How do we do that? So for that, I'll go to my blog and search for Caddy EC2 tutorial. And this is not just for EC2, guys, keep that in mind. Let's start. So the first step is to install this here. If you have Ubuntu or Debian, you can use this method, but we are using Amazon Linux. So I'll copy these 3 commands and I'll go into super user login. So I'll do sudo su. Now I am in super user and I'll paste these commands. So the first command, this installs the COPR plugin, and then it enables the Caddy repository. Then we install the Caddy package. So this will install the services which are required to keep running Caddy continuously, and it will also update with your system. So even with half a GB of RAM, 500 MB of RAM, these things do work, guys. It's almost done. Alright, yeah, there we go. It's done. This is done. Now what we need to do is go and edit the Caddy file to make sure it runs perfectly. But before we do that, let's move this folder, so that we see the cute bunny behind. Okay, usually I like to keep things, I'll do this here. Now I am out of this, and here I have this pb folder. Now I will be moving this to var www. /var. So if I show you ls var www, there is no such directory, so I'll do mkdir /var/www. So it will do permission denied. I do sudo and I do bang bang, and it will run the same command with appending anything which I ran here after the sudo. Now we have created the directory, and we will need sudo as well to move this. So sudo mv pb to var/ww. Okay, now we have moved the Caddy directory into var www, which is a location usually used for keeping websites. Now what we need to do is we need to create a service file which will keep running the Caddy. So here this is a systemd unit file. They say it optional, so, and also this is the command which you would need if you want to run Caddy on port 80 and 443 without using a reverse proxy and manually setting up HTTPS or SSL. So let's use vim to create a file in this location. I am copying this file, and I'll do sudo vi and paste this location. This is basically telling it to create a Pocketbase.service file inside systemd. Okay, now I will be pasting this and modifying this. Yeah, you do Control Shift V, it will be pasted here. And now I can use J, K, L. I can also use arrow keys to move up and down. We need to change one thing here. So we are not keeping this in root directory. You can do CW to change word, or press I to go in insert mode, and you can use the normal arrow keys, backspace, delete and everything like other editors to do this the normal way people do. But we are developers and pro developers, so we were in var/ww, yeah, and it was pb and all that. Okay, now I go back here. If you press escape, you will come back to this different mode. Feel free to use nano if you hate vim. And we edited this as well. And now what I can do is here what's the working directory? It's the same, var www Pocketbase. Now I can go back here and press dot. It will repeat the same thing or manually do it. So if you see below, it shows insert mode and all. We don't want our domain, we don't want to do anything here, so leave it with Pocketbase serve. And I will save this. Now it has been saved, and if I run this command systemctl enable Pocketbase service, it will enable the Pocketbase service, but it will be access denied. So we have to run sudo, and now it creates the state service link. So whenever system is rebooted, it will be automatically started. Now what you can do is you can check the status, which it means it's just enabled but is inactive and dead. So now to start it, what we do is we go here and we say, hey, start this service. And now we go back with arrow key and we check the status. That's interesting. Let me go and check the file. Yeah, so this is where we messed up. There is no such directory, and yeah, you go ahead and fix that file. And now what you can do is simply, instead of status, do restart. Okay, and unit file source configuration has been changed. So if you change your unit file, what you need to do is you need to run daemon reload. So sudo system, you will need sudo here as well. And now we can finally restart our Pocketbase server, and now we can check status. So if you do Control R, you can do a reverse search, and now it's running. So if I do curl localhost 8090, we get this file not found 404 status. So this is what we expect. And if you do /_ yeah, moved permanently to this, and if you do this, you get this. It means our Pocketbase server is running. And in the meanwhile, what I'll do is I'll reboot this so that you see that it keeps running. And now what I do is I'll show you ssl-ip.io. So it's a simple website, very useful website for testing HTTPS things. So you just put in HTTPS and you say ssl-ip.io. So previously it was nip and now it's ssl-ip, nip slip, something like that. People say it's funny, but I don't find it funny. Alright, I'm logging back in using SSH. I am in, and now we need to edit Caddy file. To edit Caddy file, we have to go to, so I'll do sudo vi/etc caddy file. Okay, this is what you will see. And we don't want to be just running this Caddy server locally. We have this domain ssl-ip. So in actual, whatever your domain is, abc.com, whatever api.in.io, you will put that instead of putting this. Okay, but here to just show you guys, I'll do this ssl-ip thing. Let me go to Chrome, and this is our IP. I can simply come here, paste this .ssl-ip.io. I believe, yeah, this is how the formatting is. You can even put dash separator if you'd like. And I think we don't need to HTTP. If it doesn't work, we'll revert it. And you can disable file server and all those things here, but we don't really care much. If you want to do serve local files here, you can do that as well with Caddy. And our default port is 8090. I save this. You press shift ZZ or :WQ to save and exit from Vim. Now what we can do is sudo systemctl restart Caddy. So now Caddy will be reloaded. I'll show you the status. Sudo, you don't need sudo to check status. Systemctl status Caddy. So now here you will be seeing that it is checking for SSL-IP and making sure Caddy is running. If you don't have Caddy running on this, you don't have HTTPS port open, it will not work. So now we have HTTPS enabled. Now what I can do is go back here and just add HTTPS : and then .ssl-ip.io. So we should be getting back to the same page. You see that we have HTTPS here, connection is secure. Now I can use the same email and password. There we go. So we are in. You can create new record, you can do whatever you want, call this API, restart your system, scale your systems, and this is a production ready server. You can even put a CloudWatch log and all that, and Caddy will keep your certificate renewed, and everything else will be fine because Caddy manages everything you do with HTTPS. And yeah, this is it. This is how you do Caddy and Pocketbase. And anything else did I miss? Let's go back, check to production docs, go back. Yeah, I think this is it. So if you are wanting to use Nginx, you can do something like this. And for Caddy, you can add this as well: request body, read timeout. And if you want to use Docker, you can go with that, but it's pretty easy to deploy this how I showed you. And one another thing what we need ideally should be doing is going here, go in settings, and you need to click on files backups, and either you can manually initialize new backup or you can set auto backup. Okay, and preset you can do like every Sunday, every day at 00 hour. So let's do this. Max auto backups to keep 3, and now we want this to ideally store our backups in S3. So you will put your S3 endpoint. There are a lot of S3 compatible clients these days, so you can use any of those. That will perfectly work. And you can put your access key, secret, reason, or all those things. You put it and you save it. So you will have to create a bucket first. So go in here, go to S3, simply create a bucket. Click on create bucket, and you create a bucket here. And how do you get access key and secret? You have to go to IAM and then create a user and then create access keys and secret. So you can check out my other video on how we set up AWS CLI, and in that I have shown how to create an access key and secret which you can use to automate this backup. So in S3 all your backups stay safe. You can even enable versioning, but this will be good enough for you to have these backups. And normally you can initialize this backup and download this. Okay, if you wanted to migrate your local system here as well, you could just upload backup here as well. That also works. Import collection, export collection, these things, everything is in here. So whatever you need. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like, and if you are new, feel free to subscribe, because I make cool videos on these cool tools which help us make our life easy. So huge shout out to the Pocketbase creator and SSL IP, Caddy, Amazon, everyone for making such amazing tools. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.